Welcome to Big Brother. I can't quite do the guy's voice, but I tried. Welcome JP from sunny New Jersey.
I'm JP Les Moonves or whatever I am today.
And I'm coming live from San Diego, California. And I got my I didn't shave today. So yeah, I'm going with that look.
You don't want people to recognize you at Comic-Con, right?
Exactly, that's what it is. You want to walk around Comic-Con with 100,000 people and not be, I'm bugging you. Sure, I get noticed all the time. It's great, but there'll be at least 100,000 people there. Too many people for me. I'm kind of like, I don't like big crowds, but you make do with what you can.
Now, do you spend the whole day there? Do you walk around, or do you just pretty much
like our panel's on Thursday? I'll probably spend the day. I'll probably go do a few things there because my wife's going to want to do. Wednesday is the preview night. I like preview night because it sometimes you see a good show, and like Lucifer, I saw at preview night. And there's some other good shows I've continued watching, but I like preview night, and then it's not as crowded. But then by the weekend, it's a zoo. So if I don't have to go down there, I probably don't.
Excellent.
But that's just me. I know a lot of people go down there and they camp out and they do things, and it's just I did the last time I didn't really camp out, but the last time the Lost panel was there in 2010, I did get there like at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. People saved a space for me, and then eventually we had a bunch of people that basically took cut. But no one cared because it was the Lost fans cared. I mean the Heroes fans cared, but the Lost fans were all cool. Nobody cared. We were all cool. We didn't care.
I've only been to New York Comic-Con, and I went there with one of my neighbors, who's a friend of mine, who he's got a son with special needs who is in a wheelchair. And what I found interesting was he was basically using his son to get through all the lines and not have to wait.
Oh, that's you got to do what you got to do, right? Well, it's like people with strollers at Comic-Con. I think they use them as a weapon. They don't stop. They just keep going, and it's like, I can't move, and you're pushing your stroller into my back of my legs. I can't move. I always thought it'd be cool to have like electrodes. With stun guns, that type things on the front, and so you just zap people as you're going through the. I don't know if that's illegal or not.
Just make it part of your cosplay, and it's okay.
Exactly. You be a new superhero or new super villain, stroller villain or something like that. But anyway, we're here to talk about Big Brother, the third week going on. I thought it was an interesting week. I didn't like the snake challenge. I'm going to tell you right now, if I was in the snake challenge, I would have lost because I just don't like snakes.
What's funny too, I was going to just say this really quick before we jump in, which is I always forget that I'm watching this show in real time, more or less. So whatever is pretty much going on, you're going to see that in this episode. So when an earthquake happens.
Oh, yeah.
I just love how they throw that in there as a little part of the episode.
Yeah, because there were a few earthquakes out here in Southern California last week, and Big Brother was they felt it. I like who was under the chandelier. Was it Sam or was it Nick that was under the chandelier?
Yeah, he was focused on washing those dishes.
I got to finish the dishes. I forget who it was, but you got to finish the dishes, and I'm like going. At one point, you put the dishes down, and I saw a couple of people going underneath the tables, but. I don't know.
You have to figure in the house they either have, I guess, either a chandelier, like you said, or studio lights, something that's playing back and forth.
Well, I guess security didn't seem too concerned about it because they didn't say Big Brothers evacuate the area. I guess maybe if it would have something would have fallen on someone, would have made better TV, right?
Absolutely.
And then I got my answer. I go, what happens if someone dies? And poor Sam, he lost his grandfather.
Yes. Yeah. It's happened a couple of times where somebody gets some upsetting news from the outside, either a loss of a parent or a sibling. The one that always stands out to me was when the house guests back in 2001 got wind of 9/11 actually happening, and there was a one of that. I didn't watch that season, but there was a house guest who did actually, lose somebody in one of the towers. But they let them know a little bit about what's going on the outside, and I guess if it's something personal, they have to share the news with them.
So has anyone ever left the house because they just couldn't? It was something they couldn't handle.
Yeah, I don't remember if we talked about this on air, but there was a couple seasons ago. There was a player who was called into the diary room. He was a returning player. He was called into the diary room, and then he just vanished. And they never revealed what happened, other than announcing to the participants that player is leaving the game. It was actually revealed a couple of years later on a different reality show that the reason he left the game was he learned at that moment that he was HIV positive.
Oh, I remember you telling me that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I do remember that one. Yeah, but yeah, it's got to be rough. I mean, he's close to his grandfather. I did what I did like about it. I hate to find a positive on it. He didn't have the squeaky voice after that. For a whole day, it was just he talked normal. You can't like that.
He was mellow. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I condolences out to him and his family, but it was nice for me as a viewer that I didn't have to listen to that. But I know that's what he's doing to get, make a name for himself. And I'm assuming he doesn't talk like that all the time, because he doesn't talk like that a lot. So anyway, again, I'm not here to criticize, but sometimes it's like, oh my God, stop. It's like nails on the chalkboard. But
yeah, you know what? It's almost like Big Brother, you have a Big Brother game that's happening for 99 days. They are going to, obviously something personal happens. They're going to share it with you, but it's up to you if you want to leave the game. Yeah.
I got to be honest. If I don't have a grandparent anymore. I'm a grandparent myself, so I'm old. But if I don't think I would leave for I know this sounds pretty mean, but I don't think I'd leave the game for a grandparent. I mean, I'd be sad, and I want to, after, but a parent might be different. Maybe my wife, that might be something I would leave, but
Oh, you have to leave for singing.
Yeah, I guess I would have to. I look like a pretty crappy guy if I didn't leave for that one. But no, I
mean, yeah. Tommy doesn't even know that his production of Pretty Woman is actually closing before the game is over. So,
oh, is it?
Yes, yeah.
I didn't hear that. So, poor guy.
Yeah.
So he's going to be out of work.
I guess so.
Oh, poor Tommy. But Tommy, I'm okay with it. Anyway, yeah. So again, interesting week. Like I said, the snake challenge. I just would have said, you know what, I'm out. I don't think I could pick up snakes, and a couple of times it looked like Sam was going to get bit by the snake at one point. But I'm like going, I don't want to be bit by a snake. I know they're not poisonous, because they wouldn't put poisonous snakes in there, but still, they're slimy. Indiana Jones and I, that's what we have in common. Neither one of us like snakes. So,
and I wrote down in my notes that I thought it was a very, very easy challenge, and I'm reading here again. So Jack winning that has the power to just redraw veto players.
Right.
But he can do that until there's only 6 people left in the house, which is basically, I want to say, when there's 3 weeks left in the game.
Right.
So it's almost like, I mean, I don't want to say it's a really, really strong power, but that's a decent power. And I always felt like that was an easy challenge to win.
It is. I mean, I'm kind of joking. I guess I would have, if you want to win $500,000, you have to do it. But I'd be like, oh my God, I'd rather do this stinky, smelly challenge other than the snake one. But yeah, but Jack won it, right? Yeah, Jack did win it. And he's got a lot of power in the house, and it seems like people are afraid of him to go after him.
With this power, even if he were to get nominated for eviction, I mean, he could almost, if he gets nominated for eviction and then members of Grateful don't get picked for the veto challenge,
Right.
he can basically force that redraw and almost put all Grateful members on his side to pull him down.
Right.
So it is kind of a, assuming Grateful stays together, it's a pretty powerful position to be in.
Yeah, I think they should be able to stay together, but I'm having doubts about is Isabel, right? Isabella? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Isabella,
She doesn't stop talking.
she doesn't stop talking. She's obviously giving too much away.
Right.
I mean, I think it's in their best interest as an alliance to still just stick together. And then when you get down to 8 people, okay, now we know who to get rid of.
Well, because she told Sam that he was ninth in the group of 8.
Right.
And I'm like going, well, why would you do that? It just seems to me it's too early to stir the pot. Like she wants to be. I think she's going to be on every. She said she was the Black Widow, and she just and then she goes right away and tells Jack this is what's going on. I think she's yapping too much. Eventually, it's gonna come back and bite her. I think.
I mean, she's definitely the one of the bottom players on the totem pole once they get to Grateful, because I think actually with Grateful now the smart move is once you get down to that 8, you've got a couple of couples in Grateful. You kind of want to split them up now,
right? Yeah.
I think Bella goes. I think Holly goes. I do like Mickey playing. I like his awkward breakup with Kat.
Yeah, that was awkward.
Oh,
we gotta be. I don't even. We can't be seen as friends, and then he goes back to he's all chummy with Holly, and they get on. It's like I felt uncomfortable. She gets on the hammock with him.
I think if this was a Tinder situation, that was pretty much the best you could do as far as ghosting Kat.
Yeah, that was awkward. But Kat doesn't seem to have a clue what's going on, because I know she was talking to David, and actually David sat back. You could see him sitting back, analyzing, and he was spot on. He called all the couples. He called he said there's these 8 people all seem to be getting. I mean, kudos to him. If he gets back in the game, he could be dangerous, because if he can get a Cliff or Jessica or someone like that, maybe could get back in the game if the 8 doesn't stay solid. But I said, wow, he's just really sitting back, and he's trying to tell her, look, there's a line. She's like, no, there's not really alliances and stuff like that. And he's like, come on. But I don't think she really knew that there was. I think she was kind of just. I don't think she was playing stupid. I think not that she is stupid, but I'm saying she didn't know that there are alliance out there.
I think if out of all the people that are in Camp Comeback right now, I think David is the one I want to see come back.
Right.
Because he's the one. He's got all that information. He's obviously knows what's going on. Kemi's going to just stir the pot, and I don't know what Ovi can do. But David, I think David even has some potential to even just split apart some of the Grateful team members.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And you look back at Mickey when he put him up for the eviction thing, the first round. He was probably smart, because David he seems like he's on the ball and is a smart player. He's charming, good looking, and he's smart. So it's like, I think Mickey made the right move trying to get rid of him. I mean, the whole thing where I was just, you were just, I think we talked about last week. You were just what happened? I thought you'd be, that whole line crap he was doing. But I like David. I hope he gets right. As of now, the 3 people there, Kimmy, Ovi, and David. I hope David gets back in the game.
Oh, definitely.
I think Ovi tries too hard.
I think he'll try too hard, and I don't really think he even just brings much to the game. Where David's a player,
right?
Ovi and Kemi. I mean, I don't really think Kemi did much. I mean, even with her interview with Julie at the end there, she just didn't.
No,
she didn't open her mouth. Basically,
she says, "Is what it is."
Yeah,
and I'm like going, okay.
So we had Kemi and Jessica who were nominated. You have Sam win another veto, that's a strong player right there.
All right.
Now, when they get to the nominate or when they get to the eviction, what do you think was Mickey's? Why did he throw that one vote to Jessica?
I couldn't figure that out. Maybe because he promised it. No, he promised Jessica he wouldn't vote for it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe to get in Jessica's head that there's someone out there that doesn't want her around or something like that. Maybe it was a mind game type thing, because why would he go against Jack?
Exactly.
So it had to be something pre-planned, that there was a mind game type thing. Or
I'm curious to see if, obviously Sunday's episode will pick up right where the eviction took place. I'm curious to see if she's going around questioning who voted for me, who voted for me.
Be honest with you, if I'm her, I look, it was 10-1. I'm going to say, hey, I'm not going to play into that game and be paranoid about who voted for me, who didn't, which one of you voted for me. I think at that point you just say, okay, I stayed in the game. Now I need to secure my spot so I don't get nominated again.
I think what would be interesting is if he tries to throw the blame at somebody else, like maybe a Bella who's playing both sides.
Oh, that could be something he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to throw somebody else under the bus.
Because she seems to trust him, because she picked him for the veto thing. I'm like, going, why would you even what's her the
Nicole?
Yeah, Nicole. She goes, why would you pick him?
I cringed at that moment. I expected her to pick Nicole.
Yeah, I said, oh my God, what are you doing? But it all worked out for her. But I thought it was a bad move on her part. But she bought into Mick. Mickey's he's got that. He's a good-looking guy. He's charming. He says the right things, and I think that he was able to convince her. Yeah, you're on my side. You're on my side.
Exactly.
I don't want to vote for you. I love you so much. I care about you. And anyway, he's lying. I did want to point out about Cliff. Cliff was, I think we both like Cliff, but I think Cliff wanted too much attention. I think he was going for the live stream stuff. I go, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? I said, there has to be a reason why they're showing it. And then you see, I'm drawing a blank on her name. She cries all the time. The first HOH.
Oh, that was Christy.
Christy, she's listening to it and hears everything he's saying. I go, Cliff, what are you doing? And even he said, sometimes you could talk too loud, and I just sometimes you wonder what people on the show are thinking. But maybe he's thinking, okay, I don't have a chance. I need to make a name for myself. I want to be like a fan favorite type person where I'm talking to the streams, and the people that are watching the streams 24/7. Hey, Cliff's talking to us again. Hey.
Yeah, I think definitely a bad move on his part. But yeah, I can see that. I can see that he's just kind of playing off the cameras. He probably figures he's only going to be there for another week or two.
Right.
With the especially with the Grateful Alliance now still in power, you've got Nick, who won the head of household for this week. So, I got to assume he thinks he's going to probably be nominated next.
Yeah, but he could have probably flown under the radar for a while. But why put a target on your back? But again, I think it's more like, what do we say? Cliff's. He had a name. He was trying to start a name for the people that would be following him or something like that. He's definitely trying to get something going, like a fan, a fan favorite type thing, and like a Rupert from Survivor, or someone that doesn't win the game but fans love him. So maybe he'll be asked back or something.
Yeah, on the final night, they do actually hold a, the American can vote for who the fan favorite is, and they win $25,000.
So maybe that's what he's going for. I don't know, but I was just like, and I get talking to your family. I get talking, hi, hey, honey, stuff like that. But I wouldn't say what's going on in the game.
Exactly.
And I definitely wouldn't reveal that I have the Sting. What was it? The Sting Alliance? No, Sling, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Swing, was it Swing Sting? It's not going to last long, so I can't remember what it was. But I go, Cliff, you're killing me, buddy. You're killing me. Stop.
I didn't even write it down.
Yeah. But yeah. So other than that, I thought it was a good week. Good, a lot of stuff going on. But at this point, like I said, it could be Jack's game to lose.
I think it's both Jack's games to lose.
Yeah.
Jack and Mickey. I think what's incredible is that they're pretty much running the house, and you hear it more on Survivor when they realize, hey, let's make a big move. Let's get rid of that person that's running the house.
Right.
But here, you've got both of them running the house, and nobody really wants to seem to take a shot at them. I know, Nick is head of household. I won't spoil who has been nominated. Nominations, I believe, happened yesterday, and they'll be, I guess, they'll be announced on Sunday.
And we'll talk about that. We'll say that it's a spoiler section, and we'll talk about that at the end. But but you think that they would be targets because both have been HOH. They good in the challenges. They're likable. That you think that, like you're saying, someone should go. All right, in order to win. But I think people are in the Grateful are afraid to make a move. I think Chrissy would be the one to do it, but she's got to get Tommy on her side, which I don't think would be that hard.
Yeah, you know what? There's obviously in the house, you have to realize there's obviously the cool kid club right now.
Right.
And then there are the other people who are just being targeted.
Right.
Eventually, you're going to only have the cool kid club left. And I have to think, am I part of the cool kid club?
Yeah.
Am I going to be, am I going to be number 8?
Well, it's like Sam found out he was number 9.
Number 9, yeah.
And you got to think Sam's a target because he's good in the challenges. And he seems pretty likable. So I would think he actually, be honest with you, if I'm Jack and Mickey, he's my next target. I put Sam up.
I think if I'm Jack or Mickey, I don't put Sam in the Grateful Alliance, but I keep him in my back pocket and just keep him around. He's like my
but he knows he's not part of it. You think he would go, he could stir the pot, maybe, but he didn't change the veto.
Yeah.
So I think he's still acting like, I'm still part of the 9 that he's not really part of. I mean, he is 9, but he's not part of the 8.
He could almost play like a very good rogue game where either side knows that they need him, and he's a very, very strong player.
Right.
That's almost why you'd want to keep him around, just because you can manipulate him to keep the the nominations the way you want them. But he's definitely playing his own game.
I can agree with that. And then maybe he gets down to like 13 players, and he goes, okay, let me see if there's a wedge I can get in there with 2 of the other players, and the other 4 players left. They can flip it on the Grateful. I mean, I'm sure, like you say, like eventually there is going to be, say the Grateful stays together through the whole 8.
Yep.
Well, like any show, like Survivor, there's always someone at the bottom of the alliance. So one of them has to realize, I'm at the bottom. I need to make a move. I need to flip on someone. But sooner than better, sooner than later.
That's where you pull a player like Sam in, and then you focus on the other people, the weak links of that chain. Or also, if I'm David and I come back into the game, that's where I go for Sam. That's where I pull in Nicole and try to build my alliance and work on those bottom people. Tell Bella, you're going to be the first one out. I've heard them talking.
Yeah.
Make it up if you have to.
Yeah. Because this game is all about lying. so I would definitely go to Bella and maybe Nick saying, hey, you guys are on the bottom. They want to break you guys up. You're a power couple, because they seem pretty chummy.
Yep.
I mean, it's no question they're like I said, it just seems because I know Mickey, he didn't want to be a couple, He seems pretty tight with Holly. I think I get it's hard to do because, you're young and, you're 2 attractive people. But I think for a game, the worst thing to do is be a power couple, because that just sets you up. But
sure,
we'll see. But I guess there's so many couples in the Grateful, there's 3 couples in the Grateful, right?
You got Nick and Holly, or Nick and Bella. You got Mickey and Holly,
And
and
Jack and
Jack and her.
her. And you have Chrissy and Tommy who are close.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, so you do have these because David called it out. He just it just but I because it's always a mistake. I keep going to Survivor. The mistake in Survivor, you have 2 or 3 people that always or 4 people that always seem to cling, but there's still too many people out there, and people realize like, okay, I'm on the outs. So, but we'll see. I'm enjoying it. Again, I keep saying this. I'm enjoying it. The strategy kind of involved, and I guess we'll go from there. Anything else you want to add about the 3 episodes before we go to spoiler talk?
No, I think we covered up pretty much everything that I wrote down. Yeah. Let's I'll jump into this. I mean, not really much of a spoiler because it's more off of the live feeds. One of the other things that I did hear, there evidently David, Mickey, Jack, most of the stronger people in Grateful took a vote to basically push David. Like they don't want to talk. If David's in the room, we're not going to talk.
Yeah.
They've basically just pushed him out, and there was a vote to do that.
So they're afraid of David.
They are afraid of David, and I think that's
a smart decision.
That's definitely a strength for him if he does come back in the game. That's what I wanted to say before.
Okay.
All right. So
I saw something on the stream that someone posted on Twitter yesterday that Ovi was trying to get in when the Grateful was talking, and he wanted to come in, and they said, "Dude, go away." And I think it was Mickey. One of them lost it after he was like, and he was cussing, and so you actually hear, they didn't bleep it out. He's swearing and cussing. He goes, and then Ovi's like, I just want to, hear what you guys are talking about, but they didn't want him in there. So, but again, that to me is just showing that it should be showing everyone there's 8
yes.
people that are tight alliance, but
I don't, at this point, it's almost like not a secret anymore. And that's where I think these people would just, the outsiders, I wish they would just catch on. I mean, even Kemi in her speech, started outing a part of that. So
yeah, you have to put cracks in it and go from there. But it just seems like, like some players, like said, Sam's in a pretty good position. I think you convinced me of that. But some of these other players are like, they're just happy to be there. Okay, don't target me. Maybe I can we'll see what happens. But anyway, the spoilers you have.
So we're going to jump into some spoilers. These are things that have come across on the live feed that I've either read about or saw, which hopefully will be aired this week. First of all, there was after the Thursday episode went off the air, evidently Kemi and Bella got into a almost physical altercation.
Really?
Where Kemi got into Bella's face.
And they were buddy-buddy.
They were buddy-buddy. But then Kemi outed her relationship with Nick.
Yeah. Which wasn't a shock.
Exactly. But Kemi got into her face. Bella put her arm on her, kind of grabbed her to back her off. And that's kind of a big no-no with CBS. So there's a lot of people, writing into CBS saying Bella should be expelled from the game
for laying a hand on her.
Similar to what Russell's nephew did.
Willie. Yeah.
Willie got into somebody's face, put his head on him, and he was immediately expelled from the game.
What do you think it'll happen with Bella, that she'll be expelled, or was it more of a, hey, calm down, or was it?
I don't think it was enough to expel her. That's what that's what I'm hearing people talk about on the spoiler. I follow a live feed spoiler feed.
Okay. Well, what is that feed? Do you have it off the top of your head?
I follow a website. It's called Cinema Blend.
Okay.
In their TV section, they post periodic spoilers about the live feeds.
All right, I'm gonna have to check that out. And if anybody else listening wants to check that out,
And then there's also the Big Brother not safe for work feed if you want to see who's hooking up and what was aired. A lot of good content.
Okay.
And then as far as like I said, the nominations happen on Friday. So we've got Nick, who's head of household, who basically made a promise to Nicole that he was not going to put her up. Evidently, his plan is to backdoor Christie, I want to say. So he's nominated Jessica and Cliff.
Okay.
And let me just double check that. I mean, yeah, that's who the nominations are. His backdoor, his plan is he nominated Cliff and Jess. He told Chrissy that she would be safe this week. They did do the next Whacktivity, and Christy actually won that.
Oh, okay.
It was only revealed to Tommy that she won that.
Okay.
And what her power is, it's actually a power that's come up in the past. It was called it's called the Panic Power, and what it was in the past, it was called the Diamond Power of Veto. And what it is that any of the next 4 evictions, Christy can anonymously pull someone off the nomination block, and she's the one who can anonymously replace that nominee.
Oh, okay. So she's pretty much safe for the next vote. Is that she can't be back? Oh, I guess
she's basically safe for the next 4 evictions.
Okay.
Where if somebody, if she gets nominated, she can basically pull herself down.
So if Nick wants to backdoor her, it's not going to work.
Pretty much, yeah.
But she's in Nick's alliance. She's part of Grateful.
Exactly.
So he's already trying to mix it up.
He
maybe to save Bella, or
he can say. I mean, he can. See, Nick told Nicole that she would not be the replacement nominee, and it would probably be Kat as a pawn. I'm sorry, not Christy. Kat.
Oh, okay, Kat. Okay.
Yeah.
So who do you think? Who do you think they'll put if someone wins the veto power? Do they save Cliff, or they leave Cliff in there and save Jess?
I think. You know what? I think it honestly doesn't matter. I think that's actually Mickey pulling the strings, telling Nick who he wants to put up there. He wants a clean breakup from his ex-girlfriend. So
yeah, that's true.
trying to get her out of the house, I guess.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I think if somebody in Grateful wins, they'll probably pull Cliff off. I think Cliff is from Grateful's perspective, he's the more likable person.
Right. And probably the least threatening.
Jessica was trying to pull, start that other alliance.
Black Widow
alliance. So I think they pull Cliff off and put Kat up as the nomination. And I think Kat would probably be the one to go home.
All right. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
that makes more sense than Chrissy.
I got to check my sources.
Yeah, sometimes you get a bad source, fake sources. What are you going to do? It's everywhere, right?
I should have ran ahead. I should have planned ahead.
Well, anything else we got going on?
No. Other than that, that's pretty much all I've seen that really piqued my interest.
I'm gonna check out those sites because I'm sitting around here in San Diego sometimes with nothing to do, so that would be this is perfect weather, but it's just how much perfect weather can you handle? It's eventually you get tired of it, you get bored. So
now, do you have like an all weekend pass to get into Comic-Con, or how's that work?
I do. I'm good for we head back on Sunday, so I won't be going Sunday, but yeah, I have the whole when you have the panel, what we actually learned a few years ago, we didn't know this, we would be part of those people stressing out, trying to get online to buy tickets and all this. Well, we didn't realize, because this is our 14th year of the panel. Well, if you have a panel, you get free passes for the whole week.
Nice.
We didn't know that till like 4 years ago. So we've been buying the the passes this whole time. But like I said, it's not so much it was buying them, because it used to be able, you could buy, when you got your pass for the week, you could go and buy the pass for next year. So we would just keep doing that. And then they started doing the random, you had to get on the internet, you had to wait till you were pooled. And sometimes I was like, and then you'd have to have someone else buy your ticket. And then finally Jay figured out, goes, oh wait, we get free passes. I go, oh, so we don't have to do that whole stress thing. But anyway, it worked out, but yeah, we do get free passes.
And where is your panel for anybody who's interested?
Our panel is on Thursday at 11 o'clock at the library. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the library, but it's 11 o'clock. A pretty good panel. We got Joe Opinionated. Joe Opinionated. I always call her Joe Opinionated. And Ralph from the Dharmalars is going to be the moderator with Jay and myself and that whole thing. And
excellent.
And then I'm going to announce that I'm going to be doing a Lost rewatch on Crazy Hank TV. And I'll have a whole thing about how that's going to work during the panel. I'll announce it on the panel. And the goal is to show the panel on Crazy Hank TV. I'm going to have my wife film it, so I don't know if it's going to be like, like this the whole time. But anyway, it'll be up there. If you want to watch it, you can watch it.
I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, it should be fun. And it's funny, every year I go, God, what are we going to talk about? And every year someone brings up something going, well, I never thought about that. Or you have a lot of new fans of Lost that come in and want to ask questions, and you're like going, rookie. But
well, we know they were all dead at the end. So
yeah, at least we haven't had the person go, hey, do you know the numbers add up to 108? That's the best part. But it's Lost, and we love Lost, and we love Big Brother. That's why we're here, and that's all I got.
Lost is what brought me to you guys. So.
Yeah, so that we have a lot of things to blame about Lost. There we go. Well, JP, excellent as always.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weather in New Jersey. Any special plans this week? Any just work?
I'm actually going to Jones Beach tomorrow. I'm going to go see a Luke Bryan concert.
Oh, there you go.
A friend of mine won tickets, and I don't know how far down the list I was, but she called me.
Yeah. You don't think you were first on the list?
I haven't spoken to her for 2 years, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. So it's like, okay, I'm down to like 98 here. This JP guy, I think he's still alive. I'll give him a call.
I guess after me, it was Crazy Rhoda with the funny teeth. Reference there.
Well, enjoy your Luke Bryan concert. I've never seen Luke Bryan in concert, but I hear he puts on a great show.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, enjoy. And everybody who likes this show, tell a friend, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we'll be back next week with an all-new Big Brother. Best I can do. I'm out.
Goodbye.